Hey guys, what's up? I'm No Arrows. Today I'm going to look at Ringside by Joe Keatinge and Nick Barber from Image Comics. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I've just been kind of so busy with work and everything that it's been sort of, and I can only get the benefits of the natural lighting of Tile World if I do a video during the daytime, and it just kind of never worked out. So, but I think I've got like the vast, or I've gotten past the huge clump of work that I usually have in June and July. So hopefully, now that that's over, I'm going to be on a more steady and humane work schedule, and therefore I can get the videos out. But yeah, anyways, this is when you go into this comic, when I went into this comic, I sort of expected it to be, mostly centered around wrestling. Like I figured it was going to be like a sports comic, which interested me. Like, I don't know anything about wrestling, but I mean, just the idea of like a comic based around it was something different. I figured, it's going to be something, it was something I wanted to try out and see if I liked. But as I read it, I kind of realized that the wrestling is not really the focal point. It's more of like a sort of a Breaking Bad kind of story, except it's like the wrestling is more prominent in this comic than being a high school teacher is in Breaking Bad. Like there's more of like a it is about wrestling, but it's also a crime story. It's about this guy he's a good guy. He's a former pro wrestler. He's retired now. But without spoiling too much, he has to enter the world of crime because I guess I'll say he's like on a I guess it's not spoiling too much to say he needs to help someone. He's looking for someone, but he has no real knowledge of like how to fight, since he's just a pro wrestler. Like, he's basically an actor. Like he's only been in one like actual fight in his life, and so like he doesn't really know what the heck he's doing when he kind of plunges himself into this criminal underworld. And he and so like one of his this guy here who works for one of his former his fellow former wrestlers kind of helps him, and it's really neat. And then there's like a side story about this other former wrestler and this kid this like young up and coming wrestler who he's training and stuff like that. And it's really good, actually. Like like both the human elements of it and the crime elements of it are both written really well. Like it's very involving, and the art is good. It starts out with kind of this really loose, like sketchy style, which is really unique. But here, I'll flip back a second just to show you. Like, okay. Like, this is what the first issue looks like. You can see it's, very kind of scribbly almost. But, like, before your eyes, the art does kind of clean up. And, I mean, I liked the scribbly style. And I like the cleaner style, too. So I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. I guess I'm just trying to say that it's interesting that, how much the art changes from the beginning of the book to the end. the artist is good though. Like it's a very minimal style, but you know, all the basics are there. He draws good people. He draws, you know, expressive, you know, emotions and good action. Like it works. It has a visual style that really works for it. And what else do I want to say? Basically nothing, except that like Joe Keatinge's other comic, Shudder, this one's not really selling that well, and it's too bad. Shudder is not selling that well, but it's still going anyway. I'm guessing, like, you know, Image's I don't. All right, I'll skip talking about like Image's, you know, payment process, but basically, you know, the fact that this comic isn't selling that well, like, it shouldn't be as huge of a hindrance. Like, I looked at the trade rankings, you know, every month. You know, you can look at like how well certain trades do, and usually like a first volume of an Image comic is gonna be like in the top 25. Okay, this one was like number 87 or something. So it's like, but that's usually where Shudder sells, maybe a little above that. So I don't know. I feel like this even though Joe Keatinge doesn't seem to be as concerned about sales, like maybe he comes from like a rich family or something and he can afford to put out these comics that don't sell that much. But even so, like, I worry about this comic. I really want it to go further because I really liked it a lot. And I think a lot of people were put off by the fact that it looks like a wrestling comic. And I mean, to an extent, it is a little bit about wrestling, but it's mostly a crime comic. You know, if you're into crime comics, like anyone should be, then this is definitely one to look at. You know, don't judge it by its cover. You know, you'll like this for sure if you're into like Brubaker and, you know, Azzarello and guys like that. You know, you'll be into this. So give it a try.